SB, thank you so much for joining the podcast today, owner of Nifty Studio. You have quite a big introduction because you're such a creative individual and you are such an expert when it
Thanks.
comes to SEO. So, just give the audience a little bit of a taste of who you are and how you actually got into the SEO space.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks for having me, Bradley. Yeah. So I'm SPA or Stephanus on LinkedIn because it doesn't want to verify my abbreviation name. But yeah. So I have a digital marketing agency here in Porl with my co-founder, and we've been doing this for about almost 10 years now. But I myself, very in the creative space, wanted to be a artist for a while, but obviously in Africa that's a bit difficult. So from using my engineering skills, we when COVID came, we did a lot of corporate work, and obviously, when somebody we built a lot of websites, did a lot of startups and brands, and the next step is sort of SEO. But in Namibia, it's not very, SEO is very strange there. But when we moved down to South Africa about 2 years ago, 2.5 years, we realized that SEO is very big here and internationally. So I started, with UCT to study more. And then I also, just started to spend a lot of time on the SEMrush blog and just learning, subscribe to SEMrush and just spend a lot of time on the platform and Screaming Frog and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing SEO?
Yeah, I'd say about 3 years,
Nice.
3 4 years about, yeah. But
Nice.
the last 2 years have been way more in depth, getting way more into the niches and also going to lectures other people are presenting and going to summits, getting other people to audit my stuff and talking to professionals that have done it longer than me. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly. And you're so modest because I mean, last time we spoke, you told me all about the results you're getting with your SEO, and I mean, results speak for itself. But I'm curious to know something really new I've been seeing lately. When you Google any question on the Google search engine, there's this AI overview, and on the right-hand side, you got featured snippets. So if you're ranking at the number one spot, you are below, you have to scroll below, this AI overview to get back your
Yeah.
number one spot. So what is this all about?
Yeah.
People are calling it zero click position. How do you
Yeah.
rank for it? And what is this all about?
Yeah, no, it's very scary. People are the click-through rates are gonna drop because of that. But yeah, it's basically, you now just need to sort of optimize a bit more, or optimize better in terms of getting you sort of building your content so that the AI can just scrape through it and find what's relevant and then put it in there. So 40 to 60 words type of snippets that it'll put up there. And but yeah, to get there, you have to maybe have frequently asked questions on the sites, or also focus your H1s and your H2s on more of question based, like how to or um, a when or stuff like that.
Interesting.
And then also just keep on focusing on allowing Google to go through your site more easily. Technical SEO, on page SEO,
Yeah.
link building, all that kind of stuff. So general SEO is still very relevant. The more you do it, the better the AI overview is going to use, because it still goes through the top 10 search or top 10 results, and it sort of takes the best one. Or so you'll see when you click on AI overview, sometimes they have like little
Links.
sentences that pull from others from different websites.
Yes, yes.
Um,
I've seen.
so it sort of condenses the normal just top 10 in there. But the problem is then, it's actually sort of side-tracking the ads. So I don't know how they planned this, because they sort of screen themselves.
Yeah, yeah. It's very
That's what
interesting.
they're doing.
So would you say the featured snippets are still a part of the AI overview, or is this two separate things?
Yeah, it's still part of it, but you won't always be indexed for on in the AI overview, because things get changing. I mean, our stuff jumps up and down depending on people's search traffic or new blogs or other people doing more intense SEO and ads and stuff. So the featured snippet is still sort of your base that you will just know that thing to be correct. And then if you're not in the AI overview, you'll still have that. But
Ah,
um, the AI overview will sort of change because it's an AI, it learns. So if Google indexes your site, for instance, one thing that happens is if you get indexed, or if let's say your average position on Google is number 40, and then when you all of a sudden you say you're tracking on Google Search Console, and all of a sudden your average position overall just drops to like 100 or 80, but your impressions jump. So that's sort of a thing we've been seeing that's going on a lot. And that means that it looks scary, but what it means is Google has started indexing your website for more keywords. So it's sort of taking a bigger pool. So it looks like it's going down, but now more of it's going up. So you're now starting to rank for stuff that's not that, that's sort of a bit outside or broader than you were playing on, which is good
yes.
if you want to grow, if you want to grow outside of just your brand, like just your brand search.
Yeah, definitely. That is so interesting. I have seen this. Do you think that
Yeah.
means that SEO progress will then be slower but yield more results in a more long-term phase? Do you think that that's what's going to happen?
Oof, yeah, I think so. The thing is, it's more going to be like you really need to be the EAT, the eat. What is the EAT?
Yeah,
It's
the
excellence.
EEAT. Yes.
Yeah, so that's very important still. In terms of being locally, focusing locally first. Your SEO, making
Yes.
sure that your Google business profiles. Maybe even set up a very easy automation to have your social posts go there.
Yeah.
Just making sure everything there is updated, and then also indexing on doing the same thing on Bing, doing the same thing on a couple of different search engines. Just making sure that you are your authoritativeness and trust, schema markups, structured data, authors, all that kind of stuff. Everything is going to work together so that the AI just sort of knows what to hit first. So SEO is still very important. I mean, if you don't do it, I've literally now scoped a client or did a proposal that I actually did a whole plan for them to build a website, and then just before I sent the proposal, I just took their name and I put it in the URL, and it actually came up, but their website was nowhere to be found on SEO.
Wow.
So it's actually a pretty decent website, but the problem is there's such a mix of different names and different branches of the company, and so it's very relevant still, I think.
Yes, definitely, definitely. You need to restructure everything. And for the people out there that doesn't know what EEAT stands for, I literally just Googled it. So it is experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. You don't just want that.
Yes, yeah, it's a long one. I always forget it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's like it's tricky because at the same time you have to provide value and have facts, that trustworthiness. It has to be true what you are saying, but at the same time it has to provide value. And then you still need to take all of these other things in consideration, like page speed, mobile optimization, the experience and expertise. So it's really interesting. But
Yeah.
my question to you
Yeah.
is, what are you seeing right now in SEO for your clients that is getting results right now in 2025?
Yeah, well, we are seeing a lot of, we do our normal, well, SEO in terms of technical on-page content, off-page. Um, we still see great results. I mean, we still see growth, and that sort of when we do our other indexing in terms of getting them on directories, getting them on Bing and YouTube and other search consoles or search platforms or
Yes.
search engines,
Yeah.
then they still get featured in the AI overviews and in like other AI like ChatGPT or something like that. So it's still very relevant. And actually, our strategy is still, still creating growth, even though we do use AI in terms of helping us build content plans and stuff like that. But we still write the stuff and the content ourselves and try to do stuff like I would say more 50% or 60%, let's say, sorry, 80% is us and then 20% is the AI, because That's the problem with the EAT is if you just pull like an AI or an AI reference article from ChatGPT or something, then that's not going to really work for EAT. And then
Okay, so
that,
you'd
you
say
know, it might
20%, because that was my next question is, can AI written content help you rank well? So you would say 80-20%?
Yeah, yeah, it depends like how much time you have and stuff like that. But this actually came from one of the talks I was at that he said, yeah, you should use that last 20% with AI to get you through. What was the other way around? For different, like obviously there's a lot of different topics, but for instance, you can go, one trick is you can go go Google whatever you want, document you want to write, or get references, and maybe pull everything of that into a doc. And then that doc you upload to ChatGPT or whatever one you're using, Perplexity or whatever. And then you say, just reference this document, because this is the info that I want to use, and then write something. And then you go in and then you edit the stuff and you make sure everything aligns with your tone of voice, especially. And then that just helps it to be a bit more trustworthy if you don't have time to write it yourself or have a copywriter or something like that.
Yes, brilliant. That's
Yeah.
thank you for giving us some secret sauce right there. And would you say that keyword research is still as important as it used to be?
Yes, definitely, definitely. Like especially with long tail keywords and just trying to gain a bit of traction to your site without spending a lot of money.
Okay.
So you can just go look at what sort of keyword difficulties between like 0 and 30%. With they should have lower traffic because they're really like a long, almost a sentence long. And like for instance, Yoast, I know complains a lot, or rank math, or what's the other one? AI SEO, IE SEO, the other one, for
Yeah.
instance, on WordPress. I complain if you have these really long keywords, but those are the things that people are searching. And for instance, you have 170 clicks on this long tail keyword with a really low difficulty. So then you can start ranking for that kind of stuff with blogs and then index your blogs on like Bing and Google Search Console. And then that just helps to get a bit of traffic to your site for free. And then eventually, when you label we say your biggest blog or your most important blog, you label as pillar content. And then you try and focus all your other blogs to drive traffic to that blog.
Yes.
Um, that just helps to also get you, competing against your competitors, also to see like how many of the percentage of the traffic share you actually have in your country or your town that
Yeah.
you want to rank for.
That
Like, do
makes
you?
complete
Because
sense.
yeah,
That
yeah, you
makes
can go
complete
see what
sense.
other people are ranking for. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And it's true what you're saying, because those long tail keywords, I mean, old SEO people would say plumber near me. But now you have voice search and you have Siri, and people actually just record their voice
right.
and say, what is the best plumber near me? So to have those
Yeah,
longer
yeah.
keyword structures, and then also at helping for AI overview, right? So I guess all of this
Yes, yeah,
comes into play. That is very, very interesting. And tell
yeah.
you, what would you say is the most common SEO mistakes businesses are making today in 2025?
Yeah, yeah, I would say it's sort of a cohesive. Like, there's a lot of technical stuff that you can happen, especially if you work with really old domains. But a lot of the stuff that I see smaller businesses or people that are relatively new on the internet or on the digital space is that they just sort of set and forget certain aspects of their website, so or of their presence, like their Google Business Profile. They don't really care about that, or they have their website; it's going to work, or they don't really, they have a YouTube channel, but they don't have like Instagram, or they don't have LinkedIn, or not that I'm saying you should do everything, but I mean there's all these gaps, and they help you fill in the bigger picture, especially if you on AI. That's a big thing because the AI will search for you on LinkedIn, or it will search on um, if you're using Grok on Twitter, stuff like that. So you need to be what you want to feature, and you also need to make sure that everything's talking to each other. And it's not that difficult. Just to optimize your Google Business Profile, for instance, is very straightforward. Making sure the names, for instance, if your name is Black Cat or or something like that. What product is it? Was it a service? And then you can maybe put that, especially when you're just starting out, because everybody knows what Apple is. But for instance, if Apple was new, they'd probably have to say Apple digital, or what is it, electronic devices or phones or stuff like that.
Yes,
So
yes.
just to help you get indexed a bit earlier or faster, especially if you're new. So all over on your Instagram, on your LinkedIn, on your Google Business, having your service or your product next to your name, if it and if you can in your domain URL, that just helps to get you going a bit faster without spending a lot of money on like Google or
Yeah.
Google ads and stuff like that. So
Yeah, true. Because I mean, social media search engines has become such a massive way.
yeah,
I mean, it's competing with
yeah,
Google as a search engine. So that's crazy. You have to optimize everywhere. It's
yeah.
not just search engine optimization, it's search everywhere
Yeah, yeah.
optimization.
Actually, we have some of our clients coming to us with, they said, no, they got this client on Grok, or this guy found them on ChatGPT, or
Yes.
this guy, yeah, found them on AI Overview. So it's a bit of everywhere now. If you just focus on getting your pillar and your content right, and your site is working well and it's fast, and your links aren't broken, and that stuff will help you just make sure that everything where you grow on digitally or online. And
Yeah.
then you can start focusing on, if you want to expand, you could focus on link building. You can focus on getting your directories, maybe paying for a directory that you really like. Yeah, bunch of
Yeah.
tricks like that.
Interesting. Would you say this is the tricks and SEO tactics smaller sites can do to compete with those big players in search rankings? I mean, how do those smaller sites or startups compete with all these big players in search rankings today?
Yeah, for me, definitely long tail keyword blogging. For me, that's what I've personally seen has worked. And then using, especially if it's new, just using a little bit of funds to get in your indexing a bit faster. So, for instance, having a Google ad campaign with three different campaigns, or three different Google ad campaigns. One is, for instance, for your brand search, just as a backup if you have a strange brand name. And or maybe if you want to feature your brand name when a competitor is being searched, you can have that in sort of a brand campaign. And then you have just a campaign for your landing page with just general services or products. And then obviously with a PMAX campaign with products a bit or Google merchant accounts a bit different. And then having maybe a blog indexing campaign that just helps you to index your long tail keyword blogs if you don't have a lot of traffic already. So um, just getting a little bit of, but that's very focused. You're going to literally just take that long tail keyword, put it into Google Ads, put your blog link in there, and just get a little bit of traffic on there. If it's not doing well already organically, that's, you can always
Yes.
start off without the ads, and if it's really struggling, then you can. But I have seen that if you just upload the blog, you do your keyword research, there's 200 searches for this keyword, and its difficulty is 10 or it's 12 or something. Then you upload that, you just index it on Google Search Console or Bing, and then the traffic will come because it's slow, but it will come.
Interesting. And would you
And
take a
that's sort of the latest one,
I see. And would you take that high traffic volume keyword and possibly use it as a title for your blog? How would you approach a blog with those high traffic keywords? Because you can't really do keyword stuffing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you can't. Yeah, the thing is, you're gonna be on page 6 or page 8 if you do that. So,
I see.
of Google. So that's the difficulty with this the really high traffic keywords, is that you're gonna get lost in the noise.
I see.
So then you either need to pump a lot of money into Google Ads, for instance, to get it up there, or you're just gonna have to maybe push this blog to different guest posting sites or something, just to get the index a bit better. But it's still, if you don't have a lot of traffic to your site organically already, then it's just going to get lost.
I
It's not
see.
going to work.
So would you rather use
So
like an opportunity keyword or?
yeah, I would say like focusing on doing your research, just checking what are people searching, and then maybe just working around that. We take some keywords that are more or less in the space that they work, or the site or the services, and then we build sort of blog themes around that. So we work with the keywords first, and then we go to the blogs, because it's a bit difficult to rewrite stuff. Um, coming from the other side. I know if you have very strange keywords that you know is in your field, but now you have to work it into your content. It's difficult.
That's difficult. And that shows you how important keyword research is. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
tell me, SB, what is your go-to stack currently when it comes to SEO tools, SEO platforms, and AI?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at the moment, yeah, like I said, we use SEMrush to do link building, keyword research, and just do on-page SEO optimization. And then we also use Screaming Frog, do a bit of more technical edits, SEO Screaming Frog. And then we also use Google Search Console, especially to track specific blogs, because you can filter according to specific pages. So if you want to, for instance, report to a client, how is this blog doing that you did a long tail keyword blogging, keyword research for, you can see the traffic. And then we also use we use ChatGPT just to help us with a little bit of ideas for if we get stuck with the keyword, with the meta descriptions and the slugs and stuff like that. Sometimes it really helps to just get AI to write that 160 characters for you because it's a bit difficult.
Yeah.
And then there was we use Bing Webmaster Tools, and then we also use that's about it, I think, for now. I have to remember all the rest.
No, amazing. I'm enjoying this. Thank you for dropping all these golden nuggets.
Yeah, there's a really cool one as well called SimilarWeb, but it is a bit, you'd have to pay for it. But that's if you want to do more competitor research and go see all the traffic and stats. And the other one I forgot is Google Ads. So in Google Ads, you can also do some keyword research.
Oh, yes.
Seeing what your competitors, or seeing what the cost is. If you want to rank for something, what is the cost to rank at the top 3? What is the cost to rank lower than that? So then you can a bit easier scope. For instance, if your client says, I want to be ranked for attorney in New York.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you going to pay per click? Then you can estimate, okay, the traffic is 1,000 clicks per month. And maybe let's say 5% conversion rate, you work on that, and then you can work out that cost amount for him and tell him it's going to be this amount average per month.
Yeah.
And he can say, okay, I want to do that. I don't really know. And then at least you can tell them a bit more. It's not as in the air as it is normally with SEO. Like, you can tell them this is what the ad cost is. Yeah. And you can sort of work out what is your fee to manage it and stuff like that.
And strategize better from there. I love that. Nice. Yeah. And SB, if SEO didn't exist, what would you be doing?
Probably just more explainer videos.
Explainer videos.
I really love doing explainer videos for clients. We're actually working on a few now. It's a lot. We actually, so that's because the business, like I said, we started off visually, but we had to learn SEO to get our clients a bit more of a full service. Yeah. And then that's where somebody's now jumping in to help me a little bit more as well, just because there's a lot of, especially on the technical side, fixing broken links, go checking for, all this other stuff like page speed and what's that? A last scroll site or something. It's one, there's that metric that Google uses for something, how long it takes for something to load on your site.
Yes.
All this optimizations is probably, I can't, longest paint, I can't remember.
Yeah, because people will just bounce from your website.
Doing mobile optimization and all that kind of stuff. So there's a bunch of, because we build the sites ourselves, that we can go in and go fix it and go see, maybe we must upgrade to maybe like a paid caching plugin to see if that helps speed things up, or we need to migrate to a CDN. Yes. So that's a bit more of the technical side, but yeah, a lot of
amazing stuff. I love it. Well, SB, that's it from my side. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for just dropping golden nuggets all the way. I want to leave you with letting the audience know what you got going on. Is there any pages they can follow, YouTube, website, whatever it is? Please let the audience know what you got going on.
Thanks. Yeah, no, at the moment, we're working on an explainer video for, it's pretty exciting. Actually working on 2 at the moment. And then, doing a lot of We just did a whole SEO sort of optimization overall on our own site, niftystudio.com. When that's nifty-studio, we couldn't get the original domain, unfortunately. And then on YouTube, I just posted like a few more. We're constantly posting like little tutorials on there, just like small hacks on the 1 minute tutorials that try to be 1 minute. And then on Instagram and LinkedIn, we try to post some interesting quotes and some stats that we've seen. Trying to be cohesive
Yes.
in this crazy world.
Yeah, this fast-paced, crazy world. Well, I'll definitely
Yeah.
link that YouTube channel and socials in the description so people can go
Thanks.
follow SB Funder Merwe and see what you're up to. And good luck with
Thanks.
all these future ventures. This was awesome. This
No.
was exciting, and thank you once again for joining the podcast.
No, thanks, Bradley. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.